and welcome learners in the series of session on human resource development. I, Dr. Priyanka Yadav, working as an assistant professor in School of Management Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University. So today in this session we are going to discuss about the human resource development processes and human resource development climate variables. In the previous session we were discussing about the role clarity, awareness of competencies required for job performance, proactive orientation, trust, collaboration and teamwork. In this session we will discuss about the another or some remaining components of human resource development processes. These are authenticity, openness, risk taking, value generation, clarification of norms and standards, better communication, fair rewards, generation of unbiased data on employees, and some other factors like personal policies, top management styles, investment on HRD, top management commitment, history of the organization and past cultures of the organization. So, let us discuss these components one by one. So, we are discussing about the authenticity. Authenticity means being genuine, transparent and true to one's values, beliefs and personality in interactions rather than pretending to the someone else or saying what others want to hear. In an organizational or human resource management context, if we talk about authenticity, then it involves aligning words, actions and values so that others can trust your intentions and behavior. For example, in a meeting, a team leader admits what he does not know the answer to a technical question, but promises to find out and update the team. Then he shares both good and bad news with equal honesty. His authenticity earns him trust and respect because people know he is not hiding or surrogating the truth or hiding the truth. So, in terms of human resource management, authenticity is linked to leadership effectiveness, and authentic leaders inspire trust and loyalty. Employee engagement, it will lead to employee engagement. Workers feel safe to express themselves. Organizational culture, it encourages openness and ethical conduct in the organization. Openness means being receptive to new ideas, perspective and feedback and willing to share information honestly. It involves both open-mindedness and like accepting and exploring different viewpoints, and open communication also, freely sharing relevant knowledge with others, and willingness to listen, valuing others' ideas without immediate judgment, transparency, sharing information that helps others make informed decisions, adaptability, being ready to adjust plans when better options emerge, constructive feedback culture, giving and receiving feedback positively. For example, in a strategy meeting, the marketing head proposes a traditional campaign. A junior employee suggests using AI-driven social media ads. If the leader has openness, then they seriously consider the new ideas, ask questions to understand it and evaluate its feasibility. But without openness, if he does not have open mind, and then they dismiss it simply because it's new or comes from our junior staff members. Openness leads to innovation, diverse ideas are explored, and it leads to trust. People know information is not hidden. It leads to collaboration. Team members feel heard and valued. The next component is risk taking. throughout the day managers are faced with making decisions. Some decisions are simple and straightforward while others are complex and hazardous. Some people enjoy taking risk while others prefer stability and avoid taking any risk at all. A risk taker is someone who puts everything on the line in the hopes of succeeding, or who accepts a higher chance of losing money in their decisions and tolerates uncertainty. Taking chances entails putting your and your employees' best qualities to work for your company's growth. You must design a cultural formula that everyone must follow according to your vision. Break down your company's action and contrast risk taking lines when it comes to difficult decisions and leaps of faith. Because this is a continuous process, you may need to change it on a case by case and person by person basis. So, let us take an example. A firm has a risk taking culture when its employees are aware of the risk involved in each circumstances and take measured chances. They may reap the benefits of taking risk in business if they regularly make right decisions and represent the risk taking culture then you have fostered in them over time. This is how the risk taking is important for the organization and how the organization can deal with the risk taking situations. Now, the next component is value generation. Putting people first is one of the main success criteria of high performing organizations. Human resource professionals nowadays are faced with the task of developing efficient and effective, simple yet strong solution for the human side of the business. However, determining the specific contribution of the human resource function in achieving these goals remains difficult. The first step in developing an effective human resource strategy is to define value and comprehend how it is created in the business. So, this necessitates a thorough awareness of the whole business environment as well as the organization's overarching business plan. Once a strategic direction has been established, the organization's human resource policies, programs and practices must be reviewed to ensure that they are in line with the human resource strategy. Converting human resource strategies and initiatives into measurable business value necessitates the use of the right delivery method. A solid function of HR capabilities and infrastructure and the establishment of business driven performance measures to track whether the expected outcomes are being achieved. It will create the value through human resources. So, this is creating value through HR. Clarification of norms and standard. This is the another aspect or another component of human resource process development process. So, clarification of norms and standards. Generally norms are the established rules of conduct determined by culture. Norms are standards and beliefs that help to maintain social order, guide individuals and determine what is proper and what is wrong, as well as what is positive and what is negative. So, for optimal team performance, it is necessary to define responsibilities and objectives. If you are a team leader, do not expect people to follow you unless you make it clear what you expect from them. The communication of plans, policies and role expectation is known as clarifying. So, clarifying is how to communicate the plans, policies and role expectation, and whether it is communicated or not to the employees. The HR must check on this also. ki how the manager is clarifying all these things or not. So, clarifying behavior has the goal of guiding and coordinating work activity and ensuring that everyone knows what to do and how to perform it. What duties, functions and activities are required in the position and what results are expected in order for the team to perform well in the organization. Even a highly talented and motivated subordinate may struggle to reach high levels of performance if they are unclear about their roles and priorities. If his or her roles and responsibilities are not clarifying, then he will be demotivated. So, this is an important aspect to have the clear communication among the team, among the organization. Better communication. It's not just about taking, it's about it's not just about talking. It's about ensuring mutual understanding and building positive relationships through verbal, non-verbal and written interactions. A better communication includes clarity, using simple, unambiguous language, active listening, paying attention, asking clarifying questions and showing understanding. This shows your active listening in the communication process. An appropriate medium. While communicating, choosing the right channel, like you can communicate through email, meeting, report or call for any message. Feedback loop. Feedback loop is very important, confirming that the message was received and understood by the receiver. Empathy. Considering the receiver's perspective, emotion and context. Any organization's administration requires effective communication, whether the goal is to inform employees about new policies, prepare for a weather disaster, maintain organizational safety or listen to employee attitudes. Good communication is a critical component of efficient management in every organization. Organizations must have complete policies and methods for communicating with their constituents, employees and stakeholders as well as the general public. In order to be successful, these must have the HR must have this complete and clear policies, and these policies should have communicated to everyone in the organization. And the majority of HR experts and company leaders feel that aligning corporate communication with business strategy is critical for efficient and consistent operations. Organizations may guarantee that they communicate consistent messages using a structured and thorough communication strategy in their organization. Next component is fair rewards. The perceived fairness of employee awards is frequently at the base of why people leave firms. The concept of fairness also impacts whether or not an individual will go above to meet company goals or even his or her own employment ambitions. As a result, it is critical for businesses to ensure that their employee benefits are based on fairness principles, and employee perceptions of fairness and equitable treatment. According to our research, they are a key driver of retention, engagement and performance, and unfair treatment is in fact destructive. Even the perception of unfair treatment can have disastrous consequences for a company, since it creates an atmosphere of suspicious and hatred. And It erodes performance and personal dedication to the company. Increases the amount of time spent doing things that are not productive. It reduces employee motivation to support one another, increases unionization and increases voluntary turnover and absenteeism also. Generation of unbiased data on employees is the next component of human resource development process. Because of the widespread use of automated decision making and artificial intelligence, there is a rising awareness of a danger of unintended and perhaps illegal discrimination around the world. So, structured data is required to run machine learning applications and data science, software engineering and testing. Despite the advantages provided by these technologies, there is rising concern about the potential implications of reckless AI and machine learning judgment. This is the research done by the Balladin in 2021. There are some other factors which impact the human resource development processes. These are like personal policies, top management styles and investment on human resource development, top management commitment, history of the organization and past cultures, etc. So, organizational effectiveness is more closely related to human resource development outcomes than processes characteristics. Better communication, role clarity, performance planning, trust, collaboration and openness for example are more distantly related to organizational effectiveness than factors such as having competent, dynamic, satisfied and developed people. If human resource development outputs are not present at a suitable level in an organization, then the adequacy of the HRD processes in the organization is called into the question. Due to the involvement of various other variables in determining productivity, the correlations between organizational success and HRD outcomes are difficult to demonstrate. Chief executives, unit heads, line managers and HRD managers who are interested in HRD must support HRD processes and culture in their companies as a matter of faith or philosophy, rather than looking for demonstrable results in terms of organizational success. There is a different type of relationship that require attentiveness. This is how human resource development mechanism and HRD processes are related. The creation of a desirable human resource development climate or process is facilitated by a human resource development mechanism, subsystem or instrument. So, HRD processes help organizations establish HRD cultures, good cultures, human resource development climate. In the words of T.V. Rao, we can say it is the perspective. Human resource development specialists use the term octapace to express the key characteristics of human resource development climate. Therefore, the upcoming or diagram depicts the key characteristics of human resource development culture or climate. There are 8 aspects of this diagram and this defines the octapace. Octapace means openness. Openness like freedom to communicate, share and interact without hesitation. C for confrontation. Facing problems and challenges boldly are not carpeting them. Trust. Building a sense of assurance and confidence in each other. Authenticity. Congruence between what one says and does. Proactive. Taking initiative and preventive action. Autonomy. Using and giving freedom to plan and act in one's own sphere. Collaboration. Giving help to the accepting help from others as well in a team. experimentation, taking a fresh look at things and fostering creativity. So, these 8 components defines the human resource development climate in the organization, and it is well defined by this diagram, but we called it OCTAPACE, means openness, collaboration, confrontation, trust, authenticity, proactive, autonomy, collaboration and experimentation. Now, let us discuss the interlinkages of HRD process and its outcome on HRD as well as the organization. The human resource development mechanism creates the climate and processes for human resources development. The climate and processes for HRD creates the outcomes for human resource development. As a result, human resource development outcomes are the product of human resource development mechanism and procedures. A better environment for human resource development, it leads to improved human resource development outcomes. Employees who are competent, satisfied and committed, for example, and aside from these effects, it leads to better internal resource use, teamwork and organizational health. An organization with competent and satisfied people is likely to be more effective in comparison, development and outcome in the HRD matrix, which we have discussed, is explained as HRD climate and processes determine human resource development outcomes, and more competent, satisfied and committed individuals arise from improved human resource development climate and processes. Human resource development processes are numerous, but human resource development outcomes are few. Organizational effectiveness is generated and determined by human resource development outcomes. A company with knowledgeable and dedicated employees is more likely to be successful, and poor HRD outcomes are the result of a weak HRD climate, poor policies and top management commitment, indicating that the organizational atmosphere and processes need to be improved. HRD mechanism and HRD departments are useful tools for kicking off and sustaining development processes aimed at achieving HRD results. The system should be built in such a way that they support the human resource development processes and the desired culture. These mechanisms must be checked on a regular basis to see if they are helping the implementation of HRD procedures and cultures, and if they need to be updated. So, from this note, I will conclude the session with this with the question of how and to a large extent why is central to the concept of process. HRD focuses on the development of human resource capability in every organization. HRD is critical for retaining employees and gaining and keeping a competitive edge in the market. As a result, we can say that in order to attain efficiency and effectiveness, HRD requires proper planning and implementation. The HRD strategies creates process, begins with planning and finishes with evaluation. It appears to be a never ending process. It is a continuous process because training should be redesigned or adjusted based on feedback to meet the organizational productivity needs. So, thank you learners for being part of this session. I hope this session gives you an insight into the key concepts we have discussed and inspired you to apply them in real life situations as well. May the learning you take away today help you grow in your professional journey and contribute meaningfully to your future teams and organization. Thank you.